Hello. Welcome to a Kenji's Flavour Pack video. So I'll be presenting the mod to you today. So there's been some changes since the last video, and also it's been a while since I made the last video. Basically, there's more of everything, but also some significant changes from the last one. So, as you can see, like factions have faction buildings, new units, and all this good stuff. I'm gonna load up a test loadout. Oh yes, Mernepta has his own little video that I found in a database. If you watch it to the end, you'll see a curious little logo. It doesn't have sound though, which is unfortunate. But I thought it was funny, so I gave one faction the video, which is Mernepta. Anyhow, let's see if this loads. Here we go. So, first of all, like you can see in the surrounding world that there's like extensive renames, and I can tell you, like, most of the time modding this mod has been to just do research. Oh boy. Like, yes, it takes longer to do that, look at all like the namings and stuff, than it actually takes to do the rest of the mod. But then you can also see that, okay, we're Mernepta. What is this? There's a command for Mernepta, for example. In vanilla, minor factions don't have commands. There's let's see, there's his own what are these called, commandments. In the database they're called edicts, but yeah, he has his own commandment. I think most factions, if not all factions, have these now. And then there are, like as you saw earlier probably, there's like custom buildings and stuff for every faction. Every faction have like more military recruitment buildings. Let's see if I find it. Wait, I think I missed it. Yes, and then there are universal buildings, so buildings that are common to all factions. So, for example, or not all factions, but anyhow, across factional borders. And this is like one of them. It's a disciplinary office, or whatever you want to call it, for troops. Then there's like another garrison building, and that brings us to like city garrisons. They're actually completely new now. So I based the new garrisons, as you can see, they're first of all in the red and then pretty small. So level 1 buildings, main buildings, now give 3 to 4 garrisons. If you're an Egyptian, you get 4. So then you get 5 and 6 units up to level 3. Then, as you can see here, 7 at level 4, and then 9 at level 5. But all the units, as you can see here, are pretty weak. Like, morale is only 23. Like, these guys will break pretty fast. And to compensate for this, I decided to go and change up the outpost. So suddenly there's no lookout tower anymore. It's now Kemetic Workmen's Village, as you can see here. Still provides those 3 garrisons, but there are some added effects. So one is that construction time is reduced, administrative burden, minor such, and then some negative effects. Then we have the old, I think it was called trading post, outpost. Now it's a Kemetic village. Gives you food and also a garrison. And then forts, let's see, where are we building it? Down here, great. Let's quickly kill off this guy. Okay. And now if we move around to the fort, I'll actually show you. Now you can see, no, in vanilla, like the capacity is 10, now it's 12, so you have an additional capacity for forts. And not only that, look at this, you can build a second one if you so wish. So you can stack the forts, but that of course comes at the cost of, now I've used these slots for forts and not for, say, a Kemetic village. But the Kemetic village, yes, it provides garrison, but it can also be burnt down by a raiding army. So you now have to, and you can build several of them too, but you now have to make a choice of, okay, do you build up your garrison this way and do it in more, economically advantageous way, or do you sacrifice this slot for a fort instead? You get a more solid defense, but at the cost of the economy. And then combined with, like, you have now two essentially two buildings that give you additional garrison, and one is essentially a low tier fort, if you will. It gives you tier 2 units. They're better than the ones currently defending the city, but not as good as the city compound here. So you'll have to, like, sort of in a modular fashion build up your garrison to be the kind of garrison you want it to be, which is something I like personally. And yeah, then there's like a bunch of other changes. So let's see, which do we, power of the crowd. So for example, if we go Akhenaten, which is, let's face it, one of the more popular ones, and if we pick two gods like randomly, so the legacy is still called or references Akhenaten. So when I renamed parts of the legacy, I really wanted to, like, keep the Akhenaten reference, because in this era it would have been something people might have known about. Oh, there was this Akhenaten, he did this monotheistic deal, right? But when you then go and you create it, now suddenly your god isn't called Aten anymore, it's called deity, and I left it vague like that. I didn't name it god, for example, because that would then have been more of a reference to, you know, a certain modern monotheistic god that at this time was still in its infancy. So, or if you, like, just want to, like, role play some other religion, it gives you the naming to do that. So like text like this will be referencing either the deity or monotheism. So I think if I now build another outpost, or actually I have one, it's called a shrine of monotheism. So basically you're looking at Akhenaten being like, hey, he got the right idea, now let me do my own thing in that regards. All of this in addition to like AI changes, I can actually show you some of them. Hold on, I'll be back. Hello, welcome back. So if you've seen the last or one of the last videos where I played as Irshu at turn 200, you already know this save. It's basically the same save. So if we look at like AI cities, we can see, what is this, Neni Nesu. So the AI actually now builds, in my opinion, better settlements. So here we can see like a gold mine, and then it builds a building to boost that production, and a fort. Like out here is essentially a carbon copy of what I would have done if I had been this faction. Then in Sekhmet Hemat, similar deal, but this Champions Hall, I would have either built a fort, or sorry, guard tower there, or a second bronze production. So this is pretty close to how I would have done it, while Neni Nesu isn't either too far from how I'd done it. I might have switch out the training grounds maybe for something else, but that's nitpicky. It's still pretty close to how I'd done it. If we switch and look at, can we see, can see all the buildings there. Let's see, and here you can see how I'd build my faction regions or settlements. Let's see, what is this? Harradum Anat. Yes. So for example, here's something I wouldn't have built myself, so it's not quite perfect in my opinion, but not too bad. Like the rest here are stuff I would have built. So 7 out of 8 in that sense, while here in Anat, basically 4 out of 4 what I would have built, and Harradum like 3 out of 4. And again, like the other settlement there, I would have built like a fort instead. So the AI actually now builds better, in my opinion, settlements. These are faction buildings. Let's see, can we see Hittites? No, we can't see these guys, neither these. Let's check out the Tarhuntasha here. So here we can see that there's basically a military city in every way. Then in Salavassa, I wouldn't have built this royal recruitment center, but I would have built like the wood production. And here the AI hasn't yet, built everything, but so 3 out of 3, same as me, 3 out of 4 here. Basically, if I had built a military specific city, this would be 8 out of 8 for my part. And this is actually significant because in vanilla, the AI gets a bunch of different cheats. So it gets combat cheats, which I've removed in this mod. and it gives different economical cheats, which some of them are such that the AI cannot employ, because in vanilla it cannot really build the prerequisites to take advantage of all the cheats. So one of the cheats it had was a discount, was it 25% discount for tier 4 units, meaning if it fields armies of only tier 4 units, it gets, you know, a discount. But since it never built really any bronze or insufficient quantities bronze productions, so for example, Hubishina here is exactly 4 out of 4 how I would have done it. So 2 bronze buildings and then a stack on top. So yeah, so the AI didn't do this in this degree. Like vanilla AI would have maybe built one production, you know, and then do some really odd crap, like one of those blue buildings that you see, let's say, like the management building. It would have used one of the slots for one of these, or maybe even 2 of these. Now it doesn't really build these anymore. For example, if it wants to boost its happiness, it can build other buildings that boost happiness. So for example, guard tower boosts happiness, so it gets the same effect via other means. Or it can build temples instead. But the temple, when it comes to boosting happiness, also gives something else than just the happiness, like those blue buildings. So you can see gives production boost and whatnot. So now it's actually able to field those tier 4 armies, but I still remove the cheat. And in vanilla it also gets production cheats, so it gets was it 5,000 food every month. And that's actually the reason why in vanilla you see the AI just magically out of thin air, when it only has like one tiny village left, it still magically produces several stacks of militia units. And that's because it gets 5,000 food for free, you know. So I essentially rebalanced the cheats so that I think at this moment the food cheat is at 2,900, and then I gave it was it 500 or 600 bronze if memory serves, and then some gold. So with that, it's able to essentially field a high, how do you say it, like high level one, like really tier 5 or higher stack. But I plan, that those cheats actually used to be a lot higher in earlier versions of the mod, but since I've managed to improve the economy of the AI, I've also been able to reduce the cheats. And if everything continues, I'll be actually able to. And now with the outpost rework, I hope that the AI will start using them properly. If that's the case, I can actually reduce the cheats even further. I won't be dreaming of ever totally removing them, but I hope that one day I can significantly keep reducing them. So yeah, I think that's been everything. There's like a million little things that I still could say. I could present more of the units, give you a flashy show off, you know, whatnot, but I recommend like you go check things out for yourself. Oh yes, the recent update. But yes, so there are like landmarks that didn't exist before but now exist, like the walls of Damashek, and you know, like there's a bunch of things I could go on and mention. But yeah, anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you, alligators. Ciao.